Welcome to Sinister Heroes. I'm your host, Danny Iniquitous. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel about Dungeons and Dragons, where we try and take a darker tone with everything we do here. So if you like edgy kind of content, definitely hit like and subscribe. A big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. What you do for us is absolutely amazing. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, the link is in the description, as well as a link to our good friends at Critical Failures, where we're part of a live stream game. With all that out of the way, we're going to finish off speaking about Orcus, one of the great demons in the Abyss, the Demon Lord, the Prince of Undeath, Orcus, Part 2. Where we last left off, Kirin Sali had succeeded in killing Orcus and taking his throne. Now, a big part of the reason why Orcus's throne was important was because the River Styx runs right through it, which gave him direct access to souls coming into the Abyss. And as Orcus would gorge himself on it, it's one of the things that made him very powerful. Now, again, Kirin Sali had made a spell in order to wipe out the name of Orcus. This didn't fully work, but in the orchestration of the spell and the actual conducting of it, a burst of negative energy occurred within the Abyss, and out of that burst came Tenebros. Tenebros is really important because Tenebros is believed to be Orcus. And I'll get to that in just a second. But as Kirin Sali cast this spell to eradicate the name and prevent Orcus from ever coming back, she also buried the Wand of Orcus in Pandemonium. Now, the Wand of Orcus, wildly important. But we're going to get that into a minute. Get to that in just a minute. Tenebros has this insane hunger for power. And it is believed that he knows he's Orcus, and has assumed this name to kind of go through without getting detected or people knowing he's back. He ends up uncovering a spell called the Last Word. This is kind of like Power Word Kill, but on a divine level. And it's a very powerful spell that's capable of killing deities and the person wielding it themselves. So naturally, it's a very big risk to take it. You got to kind of be a little reckless to do so. But Tenebros, using this, finds his way to, it's where the Modrons come from. It's called the Great Wheel. It's where their deities are. The Modrons are basically efficiency robots that kind of try and make the world efficient. And he gets out there to use them to find the Wand of Orcus. He kills their gods as just a demon, not a demon lord, just with that spell, and ends up absorbing some of their divinity. With that, he kind of uses his magic to locate the wand, go out there and get the wand. Now, when Tenebros touches the Wand of Orcus, he absorbs the power that was latent in it, that true essence of Orcus that has been poured into this artifact over centuries at this point. And Orcus is reborn. Now, the Wand of Orcus is something we desperately need to really just directly get into. So it has in 5th edition, I don't know if they've released it for 2024, but I don't think it's going to change too much. So, the ghastly Wand of Orcus rarely leaves Orcus' side. The device, as evil as its creator, shares the Demon Lord's aims to snuff out the lives of all living things and bind the material plane in the stasis of undeath. Orcus allows the wand to slip from his grasp from time to time. When it does, it magically appears wherever its master senses an opportunity to achieve some felt goal. This is directly from the item's description. Made from bones as hard as iron, the wand is topped with a magically enlarged skull that belonged to a human hero slain by Orcus. The wand can magically change size to better conform to the grip of its user. Plants wither, drinks spoil, flesh rots, and vermin thrive in the wand's presence. Any creature besides Orcus that tries to attune the wand must make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. On a successful save, the creature takes 10d6 necrotic damage. On a failed save, the creature dies and rises as a zombie. So again, Super awesome. In the hands of one who is in tune to it, the wand can be wielded as a magic mace that grants +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and the wand deals an extra 2d12 necrotic damage on a hit. Now, it does have random properties. This is again something that the DM has to roll through: 2 minor beneficial, 1 major beneficial, 2 minor detrimental, and 1 major detrimental property. All these are random. Some of them are not so bad, some of them are really, really great, and some of them can flat out just destroy you. While wielding the wand, Orcus has no, it suppresses the negative benefits that come from the random properties, but while you wield it and you're attuned to it, you gain a +3 bonus to your armor class while you're holding the wand. The wand has 7 charges, and while holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges, to cast one of the following spells. All the spell saves that do require saves are a DC 18. You can cast Animate Dead with 1 charge, Blight with 2 charge, Circle of Death with 3, Finger of Death with 3, Power Word Kill with 4, Speak with the Dead with 1, and the wand regains 1d4 +3 expended charges daily at dawn. While attuned to the wand, Orcus or a follower blessed by him can cast each of the wand spells using 2 fewer charges, minimum of 0. So that means you can cast Animate Dead exponentially. One of the other abilities that it has is called Call Undead. While you are holding the wand, you can use an action to conjure skeletons and zombies, calling forth as many of them as you can divide 500 hit points among. Each undead having average hit points, the undead magically rise up from the ground or otherwise form in an unoccupied space within 300 feet of you and obey your commands until they are destroyed or until dawn of the next day, when they collapse into inanimate piles of bones and rotting corpses. Once you use this wand, you can't use it again until the next dawn. Something else to note is when Orcus is using the wand, the call of undead doesn't limit to just skeletons and zombies. He can summon any kind of undead, and the undead don't perish at dawn the following day, and they remain until Orcus dismisses them. So he can just create undead, super beefed up undead every day whenever he feels like. Again, thankfully he's super lazy, otherwise that'd be a real issue to deal with. The Wand of Orcus is also sentient. It's chaotic evil with an intelligence of 16, a wisdom of 12, and a charisma of 16. It has hearing and dark vision out to a range of 120 feet. And the wand communicates telepathically with its wielder and can speak, read, and understand Abyssal and Common. The wand has a personality. The wand's purpose is to satisfy Orcus's desire to slay everything in the multiverse. The wand is cruel, cold, nihilistic, and bereft of humor. In order to further its master's goals, the wand feigns devotion to its current user, making grandiose promises that it has no intention of fulfilling, such as vowing to help the user overthrow Orcus. Now here is something that's really, really important, and part of the reason why Orcus is the Prince of Undeath. In order to destroy the Wand of Orcus, it requires that it be taken to the positive energy plane by the ancient heroes whose skull surmounts it. For this to happen, the long-lost hero must first be restored to life. No easy task, given the fact that Orcus has imprisoned the hero's soul and keeps it hidden and well guarded. Bathing the wand in positive energy causes it to crack and explode, but unless the above conditions are met, the wand instantly reforms on Orcus's layer of the abyss. The awesomeness of that item definitely goes to speak volumes on the power that Orcus has. Now, whatever reasoning Orcus had to destroy this entity, this human hero, obviously had to come from when he was a mortal and he was just an evil spellcaster. So I imagine it was probably a lawful good kind of character, because it's the polar opposite of what Orcus is. So understand that without knowing the name of this individual, the chances of you being able to restore it to life are just practically zero, even if you could just find this soul. It is not. It's really just not realistic. Ultimately, because Orcus is so infused his essence into this weapon, into this artifact, into the Great Wand of Orcus, as long as it exists, Orcus exists. So it doesn't matter if you kill him. After Kirin Sali kills him, he comes back and he gets killed again and again after that and still reforms. His battle against the demogorgon and Grazit for control of the abyss, it doesn't matter if he loses because he can't die. He'll always reform. It's fighting a losing battle. And the only way to win it is to risk destroying yourself by wielding the Wand of Orcus, and the impossibility of knowing which soul to resurrect. And then if that soul even has the memory of what to do to destroy it. Because you can just restore the soul and he could be grateful that he's brought back to life and go back to living their lives. There's no set, I know what I have to do, because a soul being tortured for eternity probably doesn't have the sharpest memory. This is what keeps Orcus in power. This is what keeps him from vanishing and getting defeated, because he's just absolutely a universal, multiversal necessity that he exists almost. It's really, really cool. So when Tenebros finds the Wand of Orcus and absorbs its power, mixing with the divine power it's stolen from the Muldran gods, Orcus is reborn. But Tenebros's body still dies. Tenebros's body is still currently floating in the astral sea, and once you go into the astral sea, time doesn't affect you. So it's not deteriorating, it's not rotting. It is a battery of divine energy just floating in astral sea. It's crazy, but other entities have found it. So I believe some entities might even be living in it. Some warlocks pull their great old one patronage from that body. So they might not even be aware that they are worshipping Orcus. It is awesome. Orcus isn't the kind of deity that just kind of, like, as lazy as he is, he's not without plans and things that he does. At one point, this is just an awesome story. At one point, Orcus finds himself in the Underdark. More so, he's summoned to the Underdark, along with a few other demon lords. And throughout the story that happens, while he's in the Underdark, he uses necromantic powers to raise and take control over a dead elder brain named Cyrog, which he then uses to control illithids. So he's now working with undead illithids in the Underdark. It's awesome. But he does this before he gets sent to the Abyss. He gets cast back down by the Demogorgon at some point after that. And then the Wand of Orcus is once again left in the realms to corrupt the mortal foolish enough to claim it for themselves. And this is part of the reason that gives Orcus divinity. Even though he was sent back after he had resurrected an elder brain, he leaves the Wand of Orcus back on the material plane. And Orcus from time to time will just send out the wand. He'll be just sitting there gorging himself on new souls coming in, and he'll just look at the wand and send it to the material plane. Just kind of with its own kind of compass, looking for a worshiper or someone who worships Orcus, and give them the ability to wield it. The reason why he does this is to help further his divinity. Because by giving out his own wand temporarily, it inspires belief in Orcus. Because the deities in D&D are real. They are tangible. You can talk to them. You can summon them. You can see them. They have machinations going on in the material plane at all times. Almost every single one of them. Orcus is no different in that front. By sending out the wand, people can see that their devotion is being rewarded. On top of the fact that he does give them spells, not like in the way a cleric does, but by funneling the negative energy plane into the entities who pray to him. While he's worshipped as a god, his power grows. So it behooves Orcus to repeatedly send out the wand to corrupt all of these souls out there as a teaching tool, because those who fail are turned into zombies. But they failed. Their failure results in inspiration to those who do wish to follow Orcus, because it shows these high-ranking members to be not strong enough or have true faith in Orcus. And that's why they fail and die and turn into zombies. But it does inspire others to pick up and want to pick up. And then the rumors of Orcus's wand on the material plane spread like wildfire. It is amazing of a tool that Orcus uses. And he does it constantly. He will just give it to someone if they ask for it. Because A, he knows it can't be destroyed. B, while he's alive, he's in the castle that houses the soul necessary to defeat it. On top of the fact that just getting to his domain of Thanatos is practically impossible, on top of having to survive the abyss, the hordes of undead that just randomly roam is a lot to cut through before you get to his tower, before you deal with the strongest undead ever created, before you deal with Orcus himself. So he's pretty confident in his own availability to survive whatever comes his way. And the wand is the perfect tool for that. Orcus himself is a powerhouse. Not only is he going to be fighting you wielding the wand and having all of those benefits, he also has layer actions where he's able to cast Creeping Death, which creates a 60-foot tall and 10-foot wide radius from a point he can see, and all the creatures in that area, there's no save, you just are vulnerable to necrotic damage, and he takes that as a legendary action. That is devastating because he does a lot of necrotic damage, obviously. He has layer actions where he can use power word kill on anything that is just he's aware of is like in his lair. So if he knows you're there, even if you go invisible, he can still use power word kill on you. He can raise up to 6 skeletons, zombies, or ghouls as a layer action just at the start of every round. He can also cause skeletal arms to arise from an area in a 20-foot square that he can see, and they last until the next initiative count 20. Each creature in that area must make a DC 23 strength saving throw or be restrained until the arms disappear. There is just a lot to deal with encountering this guy. On top of the fact that he has a 17 AC, and on top of the fact he has a huge pile of hit points, and he can fly, and he's got a 40-foot movement speed. Like, he is gnarly, and he is surrounded by the undead, and it's just really an awesome fight because he's just constantly hurling undead at you, just new monsters appearing every turn in such huge numbers, which is just awesome. With all that being said and done, we're going to bring this video to a close. I hope you enjoyed Orcus. If you like Orcus, any games where you've interacted with Orcus, absolutely, I would want to hear about it. Please comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. A big thank you to all our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. What you do is absolutely amazing. And a big thank you to our good friends at Critical Failures, where we're part of a live stream game every Wednesday night. The link to both of those is in the description. And if you've made it this far into the video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you for giving a spooky kid a chance.